Cool. All right. It's 12:01. Let's get started. So again, just quick reminder, what are we doing here? Why do we do this? I look at the idea of well-being and cultivating wellness as basically fundamentally these are practices, right? We are what we repeatedly do. And so the whole point of these short 15-minute sessions once a day, Monday through Friday at noon, are intended to just bring us together as a community and make sure that we are carving out a specific dedicated time to activate these really fundamental parts of our neurology, which allow us to ultimately feel compassion, love, gratitude, all the good stuff, right? When we think of anyone who's well and happy, they typically have pretty ready access to these states of mind, and they can do so on demand. And so today's session is, since we're going into the weekend, is going to be a part meditation and part breathing exercise. And here's why I'm doing this. So when I think of well-being, I think of us as human beings having a certain capacity or kind of emotional fitness. And on some really basic level, that means that we need to take time, just like going to the gym and getting physically fitter, or wanting to walk the Camino and putting your miles in on walking or running, whatever it is that you want to do. There is this element of building a foundational set of skills, right? It just helps our brain function and have access to these foundational skills much more readily. And the way to do that is we just got to repeat it and do it over and over again. So basically what we're doing in these sessions. What I want to focus on today, though, is those moments that we all encounter where, frankly, sitting down and doing some basic meditation may not actually be called for. So I'm thinking of panic attacks, or any kind of amygdala hijack where we just feel flooded and overwhelmed. Then the question is, well, what can I lean on, or what can I use? What are the tools that I have amassed so that I can, in that moment, do something that is actually helpful and conducive to getting me back to baseline? And in essence, what we're doing is we're trying to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And there are lots of different ways we can do that. I'll mention a couple things. The first one is when we feel really stressed out emotionally and mentally, some kind of distraction is absolutely appropriate. So jump in a cold lake, get in a cold shower, or get in a hot tub, or go do something that is is sensorially captivating. And it's like a cold shower. You jump in there, and you're probably not thinking about the ruminations that were stressing you out 4 minutes ago. Obviously, we can't always jump in a cold shower. So I'm going to introduce you guys to this breathing technique called the physiological sigh. And this has been studied pretty extensively now by Andrew Huberman down at Stanford. And it's a really specific way of activating the parasympathetic nervous system, just using a breathing technique. And it goes something like this. You sort of take a pretty full inhale, let's say up to like 80%, and then you do what's called the sip. You add in, you sort of fill up the rest of your lungs with an additional sip. So it looks like this, right? So that extra sip is really important because physiologically what it's doing is it's opening up the alveoli, all those little air sacs in our lungs. And it not only, it helps us basically recalibrate our oxygen and our CO2 levels. And you'll notice that when we do this, there's a very distinctive kind of sensory experience that accompanies that. And it's been shown to be, they compared this style of breathing with box breathing and other hyperventilation techniques, even just 5 minutes of mindfulness a day. And this was shown to be about 30% more effective in a 20 to 30 day period of time when people did this style of breathing, just 5 minutes a day. Their mood improved, their resilience improved. So as a really beneficial technique for when we're feeling this stress. So 80% inhale, sip on top of it, and then a long, if you want, have it be an audible exhale. Just allow sort of the air to leave your lungs. And then we'll just do that over again. I'm going to set a timer for about 2 minutes. And I'm going to do a little experiment here with you. We're going to start off by doing a little mindfulness practice. Then we're going to do the breathing, and then we're going to drop back into the mindfulness practice. And I want you to really pay attention to what you notice changes on the inside. You know, like, how is your body responding to this? How's your mind responding? And the goal is to give you a tool that, you know, if tomorrow you're having a really stressful moment, you can sit in your car, you can sit on a park bench, you can do this anywhere. And you know how, you know, have access to a new technique that will help you pretty much immediately calm yourself down. Okay, so let's get started. So go ahead, close your eyes. And as per usual, notice your feet on the ground, get grounded, and bring your attention into the present moment. So all of the work to-dos, they're all waiting for you. We're just going to take a few minutes here just to let go of those for a moment and try to be really present for what is happening right here, right now. And specifically notice, what does your body feel like right now? So with your feet flat on the ground, maybe your hands are just rest them in your lap or on your thighs. And then bring your attention inward and just do a quick assessment of what does it feel like to be inhabiting your body in this moment. Notice what your belly feels like, what your chest feels like, your shoulders and your jaw. What are your eyes doing right now? And you're just kind of taking stock of, oh, this is what it's like to be in my body right here, right now, in this moment. Not trying to change anything, we're just observing. Notice your body breathing. Again, it knows exactly what to do. There's nothing that you need to do to control it right now. And that's the mechanism that we're going to now use to actually change our body chemistry and the sensory experience within our body. So I'm just going to start doing the breathing. You can, you know, my lung capacity is probably different than yours. So that's totally fine. If you're on mute, you know, just sort of follow along as best as you can. Again, deep inhale with a sip on top, and then an audible exhale. I'll demonstrate first, and then you guys can just join in, and we'll do this for about 2 minutes. So I'm going to get started now. Notice yourself getting a little bit lightheaded or a tingly sensation. It's totally fine. It's safe. Just keep going. That's the CO2 and oxygen levels changing. And also make sure that on the exhale, you really allow your lungs to just deflate on their own. It's not like you're pushing anything out. You're just relaxing and allowing the air to pass out of your lungs. Okay, and let's do one more round of breathing. And then when you're finished with this exhale, just allow your body to breathe on its own. Again, just bringing your attention inward and noticing sensations in your belly, in your chest, in your shoulders, and your jaw. Noticing sensations in your hands. And again, also your eyes. Again, you're not trying to change anything. You're just noticing. And does it feel different? Does your body feel different in this moment than it did 5 minutes ago? And if so, how? Again, just noticing. And so in an ideal world, this is one of these proactive exercises or skills that we can cultivate and we can do on our own. And what was interesting about this study, if any of you are interested in this study, I'm happy to send it your way. They noticed that 5 minutes a day of this kind of cyclic breathing had a dramatic improvement in people's moods and their just overall sense of resilience. Their baseline changed. And it was significantly more effective at doing that, even than just 5 minutes of mindfulness practice. So not to downgrade or poo-poo, basic meditation or attention training, but it's just a good reminder that when we feel stressed or when we are redlining for whatever reason, we have access to this tool and it works really quickly and it's very effective and you can't really overdo it. I would say the only time to please not do it is when you're driving or if you're in a hot tub or a body of water, should the lightheadedness have you pass out or just kind of lose your attention. So please don't do that. But you can do this lying down, you can do it sitting, you can do it I've done this in bathroom stalls if there hasn't been a convenient place for me to do it, or if it would feel strange to do it in a public space. Just sort of steal yourself away and set your timer for 2 minutes or more. And yeah, just give your body the break by recalibrating your oxygen and CO2 levels, and yeah, and then go from there. So go ahead, open your eyes if they're not already open. Yeah, just this last slide is always a good reminder. I think when we redline and we're really struggling with something panicky or something really intense, just like in this picture, our tendency is to look at the obstacle in the way and we get really fixated on it. We're staring at this rock, and the reality is if I was in my car barreling down on this scene, what I really want to train myself to be able to do is actually look at the gap and the space to the left of the rock, because that's my safety, right? That's how I avoid crashing into the obstacle. And so I like this saying here, energy flows where our attention goes. And so if you focus your attention on breath and really, sort of bringing yourself back into equilibrium, the rest of your mental and emotional energy is likely to follow as well. All right, that's it for today. Again, I'll stick around for a few. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, hope to see you on Monday. Remember to invite friends and family and anyone else that might benefit from this. And we're building ourselves a little community here. So thanks for participating, and have a great weekend.